It's just 2 hours to go until Election Day 2021. What will South Africa look like after the 1st of November? Hello and welcome to our special election show, The Last Word, with me, Justice Malala. Nelson Mandela Bay and Tshwane are possibly the most contested metros in these local elections. The two cities have been unstable for 5 years. In Nelson Mandela Bay, the mayor's chair has swung from the DA to the UDM and back to the DA in quick succession. Just one vote change threatened the stability of the city these past 5 years. Meanwhile, in the 5 years since a DA-led coalition took over from the ANC, the city of Tshwane has had 4 mayors. My guests tonight are former mayor of Tshwane and current DA Gauteng provincial leader Solly Msimanga, and Mkhuseli Kusta Jack, a well-known former ANC leader who's contesting for the mayorship of Nelson Mandela Bay under the banner of his new party, his new movement rather, Abantu Integrity Movement, or AIM. My first guest now to discuss Tshwane and the DA is the party's provincial leader, Solly Simanga. Solly Simanga, welcome to the show. It's lovely to have you here. Let me start by asking you this. Your campaign as the DA nationally was marred by racial spats. Key leaders have walked out from when you were there. Have you done enough to win in Tshwane this time around?
Well, I think we've done enough to see us pull better than the other political parties that are there, Justice. We are going to be doing very, very well tomorrow. I think we have done enough to recover the lost ground that we lost in 2019, seeing the mistakes that we had actually made and actually gone and corrected those both internally and externally as well. And we have, been through the length and breadth of the municipalities that we are contesting. And we are comfortable that we are going to be doing well tomorrow.
Why are you so comfortable when, by your own admission now, you've made so many mistakes and people are asking? I'll give you an example. I went to visit my mother in Hammanskraal, and I'm shocked to tell you that people are drinking dirty water. The fact that you have run a city for 5 years and Hammanskraal still doesn't have water and people are up in arms says to me that you just haven't achieved what you said you'd achieve back in 2016.
Well, Tate Malala, I wish you would have gone through the timber purification plant, first of all, to see the work that has been done by the DA to make sure that that purification plant is actually now up and running and it's able to then start feeding water to the residents of Hammanskraal. Now, you would know that the problem in Hammanskraal, the water problem is not necessarily a Hammanskraal problem, but it's what happens upstream. So if you go to, for instance, Rooiwal, that's where the problem starts. And we had actually in 2016, it's there in black and white on paper, where we had actually gone out on tender. We were ready to award this tender. National Treasury had given us the go-ahead. Provincial Treasury had given us the go-ahead. Nomvula Mkonyana, who was then the MEC, had put a stop on us being able to finally fix the water of Hammanskraal once and for all. Why? Because there is I think it was over a 3 billion rand tender that we had actually then put out to make sure that not only are we able to then fix, the Rooiwal water plant, but we are also able to then rehabilitate the grounds that are around there, and we are able to then build capacity that will ensure that the water that gets to be cleaned at at the Rooiwal going towards Hammanskraal will be able to serve the people no matter the expansion that would have taken place. So that is there, but we didn't stop and say, well, there is we can't continue because Nomvula Mkonyane had put a stop to this. We had actually even started the phase 1 of the project that we wanted to do internally within the municipality, and we started cleaning the water that is actually then flowing towards the timber dam there in Hammanskraal. So there's a lot that has been done, and to say that nothing has been done, I think it is something that will be a little bit untrue. We have done quite a lot to get to a stage where we are saying we need to now move to the next phase in order to give the people of Hammanskraal perfect drinking water. But not only have we done, what we have done on the side of Rooiwal and, the timber, we've also now in the new Easteres and the surrounding area, new Easteres Reference, which is the old Stengwater, we've also now connected the water pipe that is coming from the Soshanguve DD. We call it the Soshanguve DD pipeline, which is now giving people in their own yards water that they haven't had under the previous administration. And that is something that I think, the DA administration has been able to
Solly Msimanga, I have to stop you there because I don't know whether to laugh or cry. My mother lives in New Easteress. Now, I hate to take this national debate to a very small village in Tshwane, in Hammanskraal. But the problems in that village of water still continue, despite what you're saying. I was there last Sunday, I was there during this week, and I know that people still don't have access to water or clean enough water in parts of that village. So I'm not sure, you're sounding like you're making excuses here.
There's not excuses. Justice, this is the problem in Hammanskraal will take billions of rands to be able to then finally, get right. And this is what I was saying to you. We had actually gone out on tender. This was going to be a turnkey, a build and operation.
So can I stop you there? Can we agree that in 5 years, the DA municipality, the DA-run municipality of Tshwane has not managed to do what it promised to do back in 2016? In terms of the water in Hammanskraal?
I'm talking about the water, and I'm saying that there is a lot that has been done in terms of the supply of the water.
You haven't fixed the billing system in Tshwane?
The what?
The billing system in Tshwane is still problematic.
The billing system is better than it's ever been in Tshwane. It has still got some glitches, but it's better than it's ever been. We have been able to clean even the indigent, we've been able to even clean the indigent database where people that used to be able to afford were registered as indigent and were actually robbing people that deserve to be on the system that were not on the system. We have been able to clean that up, and people are able to then, ensure that, they get bills, that are correct. We have been able to also ensure that we stop the smart meter contract that has been there that had cost the city a 5 million rand a day when we took over the municipality. That has now been able to be stopped. And we are now beginning the process of rolling out new smart meters that are actually not even going to be costing the residents a lot more money. And then we'll ensure that they're able to then have prepaid meters in their homes, that they can actually have predictability in terms of the usage. So there's quite a lot that has been done, Justice. And I think to say that there hasn't been much that has been done would be a little bit of a stretch.
Okay, can I ask you what went wrong with those coalitions that you made in 2016? What would you do differently now?
Well, look, I think one of the things that we've learned was that you cannot have a coalition that is based just on feelings. You need to have principles that, are put on paper. There needs to be certain agreements that and certain parameters that, you agree on and say, we need to sign, and here's a contract in terms of what we're wanting to achieve, when we're achieving this by, and what are the principles that are going to guard or that are going to ensure that are guiding the relationship that we had. The reason why you ended up having an agreement that worked and didn't work at the same time is that people come one day, they want this to happen, and when you say it cannot happen, then they're unhappy with you. They want to put a motion of no confidence against you. They want something else the next day. You tell them, it will work, but it cannot work immediately when you want it to work. And then they want to threaten you. So that's not how.
In light of that, would you work with the EFF again? Would you go into coalition with them, whether in the city of Johannesburg or any other metro?
I'm not going to talk about an individual party. There's 285 entities that are contesting the elections in Gauteng. What I'm going to talk to you is the principle in which the party has taken a stance on. And that is we're not going to be able to work with people that are not, putting service delivery at the front and center of anything and everything that we need to do. A party that is going, or even entities, or even, individuals who are standing as independents, who are not going to, embrace the issue of diversity and also the issue of non-racialism. So we're not going to be able to work with that, and the rule of law. So any organization that we have to work with will have to ensure that the rule of law is front and center in terms of what
the leader of the DA, John Steenhuisen, has said that the DA would not work with the EFF in a coalition again.
I'm saying to you, Justice, yes, the leader has spoken about a particular party, but I'm saying from a provincial perspective, I cannot, single out a particular organization, but I'm talking broadly, in terms of who we're prepared to work with and who we're not prepared to work with, based on principles, not the individual, organizations.
Let me quote to you, John Steenhuisen, on the 23rd of October in a podcast with the Sunday Times. He said, and I quote, "The DA is willing to work with the ANC in all municipalities except Nelson Mandela Bay." Would you work with the ANC in any of these municipalities in Gauteng?
Justice, as I said, there's principles that we are putting forward, and they are now in writing. So all these things will be put forward to whoever we're going to be engaging with. If they cannot, if we cannot agree around those principles of ensuring that we run clean government, that we run a non-racial, government, we also ensure that the rule of law is center to what we're doing, then we cannot operate with those particular organizations, whether it be the EFF, whether it be the ANC or any other independent, or even Herman Mashaba's party, if they cannot meet us on the principles that we are setting out, in the documents that we've put together.
Solly Msimanga, we've run out of time. Thanks so much for your time, and good luck for tomorrow and with building those coalitions if you need to do that. Thank you. After the break, we look at Nelson Mandela Bay Metro with Kusta Jack, leader of the new political party, AIM.